talk about you, Emma Effa, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, they literally talking about me. I'm literally less than 2 feet from this group of people who talking about me.
Why?
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Kiara, and I'm back with another video. And this will be my second story time. And as you can see by the title, it's about somebody, you know, that we used to be cool. You know what I'm saying? It was an on and off again type situation. I called her my best friend because we like hung out a lot and, you know, spent a lot of time together. And, you know, I called her my best friend. But as time went on, I just, you know, stuff happens. Okay, so we gonna call this best friend let me think. We're gonna call this girl Brenda, because I don't know nobody named Brenda. Okay, so me and Brenda have had this, I'm gonna say this has been going on for about 20 years. About 20 years, 19, 20 years, something like that. It all started in pre-K. Honestly, it started way back in pre-K. I actually was in pre-K twice because I wasn't old enough to move on to the next, you know, grade or whatever. Like, I started school before I was allowed to, if that makes sense. So they held me back in pre-K. So I did 2 years of pre-K, and I met Brenda I met her my first year in pre-K, but we met again around kindergarten or something like that. And me and Brenda, we basically would just hang out, play dolls, play house and all that stuff in pre-K, like that. And as we got older, we started hanging out more and more. We would what's it called? We would have recess together. We would go to concession stand together. We would just hang out together, and that was mostly at school. But when I got old enough to use the phone, we started calling each other, you know, talking all the time, blah blah blah, you know, girl stuff. And I didn't think none of, you know, I thought we was just, you know, talking girl talk. I don't even remember what we used to talk about, to be honest. It was mostly about boys. And it was never, now that I think about it, it was never really a friendly conversation. Like, she would throw like slick remarks my way, and every time she felt attacked, she would like start talking about, you know, me, but I didn't take it no type of way. She liked the boys. Like, she liked the boys. And I wasn't really big on boys back then, and she would try to hook me up with, you know, boys and get me on three-way with them. You remember how that go. You'll call somebody up, I would mute myself, and she would call the boys, and I would just be on the phone listening to her talk about me to the boys and ask the boys whether they think I'm cute or whatever the case may be. And that's how we used to do that. And then that's basically how our elementary went. Like, it was mostly just talking about boys. And as we got older, I started noticing, like, she used to move funny. I ain't like that. I ain't like how she used to move funny around me. Like, when she would go in her other group of friends in school, and then I would come up on her, she'd be like, "Oh, what's up? What's up? Like, why you over here?" And she would like be acting real funny with me. I'm like, Excuse me, ma'am. Last time I checked, I thought we was here. But I guess, you know, that's just how she would act around other people in her school. Mind you, this is school. This is school, so people gonna act funny around different people. I just came to that realization early on. So one of the times where I started to realize she wasn't really my friend. Like, I still call her my best friend, but one event that made me question her loyalty and made me feel like she was moving sneaky was in 6th grade, middle school. And she liked this dude, let's call him John. Just plain John. That's not you, John. Hold on. That's not you, John. David. She's like this dude, David, and little to my not, like, I didn't know this, but David actually ended up liking me. And I didn't like David like that because I knew that Brenda liked it, David, and I wasn't gonna, you know, entertain him because I'm like, nah, Brenda's my friend. I don't move that way. I'm not sneaky like that. So she found out that David liked me or whatever, and she started acting funny. And then, okay, we was in middle school, so we could still go outside and, you know, chill. We couldn't play on the stuff, the equipment over there, but we could just sit out and chill. So one day we was on recess, you know, chilling outside, and I'm over here literally minding my business, my guy, minding my business. And I hear people to my left talking mess, and I hear people getting loud and cussing and stuff, and I heard Kiara, and I'm like, what y'all talking about over there? And another dude who was talking and stuff, basically he was the instigator. We're gonna call him Sean. Sean was, he yelled my way. He was like, I'm talking about you, Emma Effa. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, they literally talking about me. I'm literally less than 2 feet from these group of people who talking about me. And I didn't even know they was talking about me. That's how to myself I was. And when Sean, you know, was talking stuff, I'm like, what did I do? And I'm like, what happened? And then Brenda got up and she was, I guess Sean was hyping her up. And Brenda got up, got in my face, and she was like, so what you want to do? What you want to do? You talking all this stuff. You, and then mind you, what did I call him? David was literally in front of us while we arguing. 9 times out of 10, he knew what we was arguing about. He was just standing there, enjoying the show. So she got in my face. What you gonna do, Kiara? You talking all that mess? And she was literally like here, like in my face. And mind you, I don't like people in my face. I'm not just gonna let you be rubbing up against my face. Like, that's really disrespectful. So I said, give me 3 feet. So I politely like pushed her, like, to get her out of my face. Like, she was literally on my skin. Like, she was literally right here. So I lightly said, can you just bag up like 2 feet? And she pushed me. Luckily, the way we got outside chairs, so luckily for me, I was sitting backwards in the chair. So when she pushed me, I caught myself. And so I got up. I was like, oh, I guess we finna fight, cause she pushed me, and I saw her do this. And anybody know, like, that's a sure sign that some stuff about to go down. So I said, oh, I guess we finna fight. So she took off her earrings and she rushed me. And so she, it literally, I promise you, this fight lasted maybe 6 seconds, 7 seconds at the most. And so I felt her hit me. She knocked my glasses off. And last thing I remember was me swinging her and throwing her on the ground. And I walked off because I'm like, what just happened? I was not even mad. I was more confused. Like, why did she come at me like that? Like, what what caused her to be so mad at me that she decided she wanted to fight me? And so I guess she got a good lick in because my nose was bleeding, and she scratched my arm, and she scratched somewhere else. I can't remember. But yeah, we got suspended after that. Then we came back. You know how people in school is. They instigating. Oh, look at them. Y'all sitting together. I thought y'all had fought. I thought da 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 da. And Brenda was like, oh, I made her nose bleed. Da 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 da. And in my head, I'm like, I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends. What's going on? So time go by, and we in PE, and I walked past her. I was minding my business, and I'm gonna tell you again, rumors in middle school spread so fast. You don't even know how they came up. You don't know who started. You don't know how they become the way it was. But I was walking past her in PE. Mind you, we in the same grade. I walking past her in PE, and she was like, hey, Kiara, I heard you want a rematch. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, ain't nobody thinking about you, girl. I'm still confused on the fact that why you fighting me and I thought we was friends. So I looked over to her. I'm like, what you talking about? And she was like, well, I heard you wanted to fight me again. I'm like, who said that? And she was like, I ain't gonna tell you, but all I know is I heard you wanted to fight me again. And I'm like, no, I'm not worried about you. But I mean, if you want to, we can. I don't want to, but if you want to, we can. Because the first time I wasn't prepared. So she was like, oh, well, I was just making sure. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I went on by my business. Couldn't even tell you how we made up. Couldn't even tell you. And we started back talking again, but it was not the same relationship we had before the fight. So we finished middle school. We get through high school. She ended up dropping out because personal reasons. And I still talk to her. Like, we still kept in touch. She still told me about her personal life, her relationship, da 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 da. And one day, mind you, I supported her in everything. Like, she had a kid. I bought stuff for the kid. I supported her. I comforted her if she needed it, all that. And she ended up getting she ended up, she was in a relationship with her child's father or whatever. And her child's father was cool. I didn't think nothing of it. It ain't had nothing to do with me. It wasn't my business. As long as he wouldn't put his hands on her, that's all that, that's all I cared about. And I want to say I was between a junior and a senior in high school. Sophomore, junior, senior. In that little 3-year period. I met the guy friend a couple times, in passing. Like, when I would come up her house, I would say, hey, and that's all I would say. And I was on Google. I don't know if I remember this, but Google had, like, they was trying to copy Facebook with this Google Plus. That's what it was, Google Plus. And I got a message from her on Google Plus. So she was like, hey, Kara, this is Brenda. How you doing? Da da da. And I'm like, hey, girl, how you doing? Da, da, da. I was like, why you talking to me on Google though? But okay, we got each other's number. I don't know why you talking to me on Google. And I didn't think nothing of it after the conversation. Some days go by. I'm with my mama, and I get a phone call from Brenda. And I got a phone like, hey, girl, what's going on? And she was like, Kiara, have you been talking to my man? And I'm like, what? Have I been talking to your who? She was like, have you been talking to my man? Because he was telling me that you was messaging him on Google. I'm like, first of all, don't come at me like that. Second of all, I didn't even know that was your man. Mind you, the message was from her account. So, in my mind, it's her. Because why would he use her account to talk to me? That's stupid. So, she gave him the phone and he was like, yeah, this, that, and the third. You was trying to talk to me on Google. You knew I wasn't Brenda and you was still talking to me, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, sir, you are mental. Now that I think on it, I think he was trying to get me and her to stop being friends so he can have her all to himself, which is fine by me because apparently it worked. So after that whole fiasco, I was like, Brenda, you really about to check me about this dude? That he used your account to talk to me. He never even said, hey, this me, this not Brenda. And I'm like, why? For what? Like, that really peed me off because I'm like, why would you do that? So I was starting to realize this friendship is dead, because at this point you can check me over a dude who I haven't even met him more than 3 times in real life. So that's what really peed me off, that you checking me up somebody I've never talked to for real, never had a conversation with for real. Like, I never understood it. And 9 times out of 10, she probably still with him. That ain't none of my business. I think we stopped being friends. Like, that was kind of the closing chapter of our friendship, because like, I couldn't deal with it no more. I couldn't deal with her getting mad at me over a dude. And that let me know how much she really trusted me, that she'll believe a dude who she ain't known long as that over a friend who you've known since pre-K. So I just really closed that chapter of my life. And the reason why I said she was toxic, because she would be my friend, then she would hate on me. She would talk about me, but then she'll smile in my face and, hey girl, how you doing? Knowing I know she knows she done talked about me, and I done found out she done talked about me. Like, make it make sense. So after that whole fiasco, I didn't talk to her no more, because like, I was focusing on school and, you know, bettering my life. Every now and then she'll hit me up on social media. She was like, hey girl, I ain't talked to you in a minute, how you been, da da da. And I'll be like, yeah, everything good, everything cool, you know, how are you, how's the family? She's like, yeah, everything da da da, blah blah blah. And I'll see her in passing of town, because we see each other sometimes, and we're cordial, but we're not close no more, because I realized that wasn't it, chief. And I just started to realize, it made me more or less start paying more attention to who my friends are. Like, I would watch how they move, how they talk about me, and all that stuff. So that wasn't pretty. That wasn't too long. I don't think it was. So yeah, guys, that was my toxic best friend story. And that's one of the real ones I can really just talk about, because I went through it, it's over with, and you know, I can move on. But I don't think we ended on bad terms, because if we would have ended on bad terms, I would want to fight her on sight every time. But that's not the case. I still care for her. I don't have no bad blood against her, and she's got her own life, I got my own life. Everything's fine. Yeah, if y'all like that story time, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, all that, because I know y'all want to support your girl. If y'all like that story time, I might have a few more, mights, depending. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.